Hi there, this is Rajat from Startup Frat. How are you guys doing? How are you doing today? Me, I'm doing peachy, hence the peach shirt. Okay, cool. Okay, so for the people who are new and who don't know what's going on, I'll just walk you through what's going on. Okay, we are on to something. Okay, we are up to something and we are on to something, and I'm gonna walk you through what I have in store for you. So on this momentous occasion of us crossing 10,000 community members, I have something very special coming up for you, and I'll just walk you through what it's going to be about, and then I'll give you a chance to sign in to the event. Okay, so this forum is about having and building your own startup in order to provide yourself financial stability and protection, like build a strong wall against the ravages of things like COVID and other kinds of social political issues that always attack your income levels and things like that, right? Build a solid wall around it, okay? And build a solid wall using this model that we call the demand generation model, which is very, very, in Indian business context, it's kind of relatively new, although it's existed in the West for like forever, for almost 20 years now, right? Probably more than that, okay? So the demand generation model, how does it work? And how can it help you and me to build a solid income layer in addition to whatever you're doing today none, I wouldn't say none, but majority of social, political, financial, health related problems like COVID and all of these things cannot affect, okay? How do we do it? Let me just adjust my mic. Get this wire out of the way. Okay, what is the difference between the demand generation model and the traditional business model? I'll walk you through that, and then you probably have some better idea, okay? What is the difference between the demand generation model and the traditional business model? So India has been a rich economy for forever, forever. There was this time when right after independence, there was a little bit of strife and drought and all of this other stuff. But ever since the 70s, 80s, India has been pretty much a rich economy, right? So there was no reason for anyone to worry about how to generate sales, how to generate demand for their products and services. It was just like, there's so much of demand, what should I produce? Yeah, like you see a lot of traditional business people shutting down their traditional businesses and getting into the hand sanitizer business or something like that. Why? Because traditionally they've only thought about what the people demand, okay, and how to supply it. So it's a supply driven economy, okay? But today's economy demands or requires you to generate the demand for whatever it is you're producing in the market or bringing to the market, okay? And that is something that I feel most business houses, and apart from business houses, people like corporate professionals, certified professionals like doctors, lawyers, chartered accountants, etc., have never learned because they never needed to learn, right? They never needed to learn. But today is a market where you need to go all out and have people not only know and understand about what you're offering in the market, but also buy them from you at a predictable rate so that you can build a career and income, a business on top of it, right? So I have some notes here. I'll just read out these notes and I'll walk you through all these points, okay? Traditional business, I'll just write traditional over here. Traditional business is product based, okay? The demand generation business is more personality based or message based, okay? There are definitely products and services that are being exchanged in return for the money, but traditional business model leads with the product. They say, this is what we do, this is what our product is, this is what the services we provide, this is what our company does, etc. Okay? Demand generation model says, this is what I stand for. This, my friend, is what I stand for. Okay? Do you agree with me? So they have a core message, or they have a personality type who says, I stand for something, and hence you and I can probably agree on some ideas and potentially do business, okay? Think Steve Jobs. He said, I stand for something. I believe that computing should not only be simple and easy and cheap and all of that, but it should also be It should also be beautiful, it should be functional, and it should be, the interface should be simple to use, where the platform, which is the intelligence that runs the machine, should be able to make things simpler for everybody to use, which is why, you know, Apple has the most easy to use user interface, you know, very good aesthetics, very simple to use, and the intelligence, you know, kind of syncs all your devices together. So regardless of what device you're using, you know, all of the data is pretty much synced. Okay. Now, by Indian standards, the Apple technology is not cheap by any means, but if you look at it in terms of performance, how much it you know, it contributes to improving your performance in your job or in your business or whatever, you'll see some of the top performers on the planet going in and using Apple. So for them, it's cheap because it returns. The returns that come from getting into an Apple environment are manifold, right? So personality based, people did not buy Apple because it said all of these things. People bought Apple because they believed in Steve Jobs, right? So just quick story for you. When the iPod came out, there were literally hundreds of other devices on the market which could play MP3 audio, hundreds of other devices on the market which could play MP3 audio, which were competing on the base of product features. You know, this thing has so much of processing power, so much of storage, so much of whatever, internet connectivity, whatever it was, right? MP3 players and all of that. Okay. But when Steve Jobs came, he didn't compete on those points. He didn't say my product is better, we're better computing power, more compact size and all of that. None of that stuff. He said, you'll have 10,000 songs in your pocket. That's pretty much it. 10,000 songs in your pocket. Simple, straightforward. And because people connected with him as a personality, you know, the product sold. You know, it was the resurgence of Apple. Apple was having a bad time as a company, and the iPod, you know, basically redeemed it from the ashes. Okay. So it's more personality based. Okay. The second thing is traditional business. Because it is product based, it's more transactional. It is more transactional. Okay. Now all of these, there are shades of gray to everything. So everything is not black and white, but broadly traditional businesses are more transactional, where, you know, unless you're in the channel partner, unless you're, you know, in the channel, you're a supplier, collecting forwarding agent or wholesaler or a stockist or something, unless you're that kind of person in a traditional business, you don't know when and where your next customer is going to come from. You don't know when your next customer is going to come from. And every day is a new day where you have to have your product compete in the marketplace with other products, right? It's more transactional. Demand generation business, on the other hand, is more lifetime customers. Okay. More lifetime. Okay, again, think Apple. Yeah, most Apple customers, at least till Steve Jobs was there, were lifetime customers, which means whatever they come out with, you know, the Apple customer is going to buy. Okay, lifetime. Then the next point is, obviously, when you have product-based business and you're going out into the market and dealing every day on a transactional basis, you have more of this discount stuff going on. We have 5% off today, 10% off today, Diwali discount, New Year discount, etc. 10% cheaper than the next best product, etc. But a demand gen driven business is more value based. Okay, what is value based? What problem is it solving for you? How much is that problem worth? And based on that, how much does the product cost? Okay, what problem is it solving for you? I just mentioned some of the world's top performers, top CEOs, top thinkers, authors. All of these guys, they use Apple devices. Why? Because it helps them produce so much more. It is minimalist. It doesn't have a lot of junk, clutter. It syncs the Apple environment, ensures that the people who are on the App Store, all these different softwares and all are, you know, basically tailor-made for Apple and all of that. So there is no syncing and all of those issues. You know, it's restricted in terms of its functionality as compared to maybe a Windows or something. But whatever is there in there, it's meant for production, which is, you know, everything is simple, minimalistic. You just get in there, get your thought process flowing, and you can belt out, you know, whatever you're doing. If you're a CEO of a company, then, you know, you need to do a lot of thinking. If you're like a creative guy, like an author or a designer, then, you know, you need to do work in that capacity. And it's very important to keep your brain clear and have a device that kind of enables more production rather than more clutter, right? So it's more value based, and that's why Apple devices are priced so high, because they say, hey, we are going to, you know, whatever your value is in the market, you know, it's worth billions. We'll help you potentiate that. We'll help you elicit that, rather than get stuck with all kinds of clutter and technology and all of that, right? So it's more value based. This thing is more discount based. What's the next? The connection with your customers, again, all of these are leading into the same thing, is more superficial connect. Okay, your customers will forget you tomorrow if all you're dealing with is on the product level. And I'll just give you a very good example in just a second. And this is more lifetime connect. Lifetime connect. Okay, lifetime or deeper. We already used lifetime over here. Okay, it's a deeper connect. Let me just give you an example. Of all the different brands that you used to use and buy for all the different appliance uses and all that convenient stuff that you use in the house, you don't remember, I at least don't remember any of those brands anymore, because I do business with Amazon, and Amazon gets me whatever I need, and it's the same brands that I buy, but the main thing is I don't recognize any of them. It's Amazon that provides me the service, Amazon that stands for something. Okay, this Amazon that stands for something. So I buy from Amazon. If those brand names changed and there was some other brand names that came in there, I'd still buy them because the guarantee is provided by Amazon. They stand for something. Okay, very different from somebody like a Big Bazaar. A Big Bazaar was also an aggregator. They used to get a lot of brands under their roof, and you used to go there, buy the stuff, and then Big Bazaar would probably give you better pricing, and then you stand in line and get the extra 1.5% in your loyalty points or whatever it is, right? Pretty much the same model. But Amazon is personality based. They say we stand for something and we're going to bring it to you, regardless of what. And what do they stand for? They say, not only are we going to provide you a product cheaper, potentially, or whatever, we are going to find a product for you from anywhere around the world. If you know that a product exists in America, Brazil, China, Australia, wherever you search for it, chances are you'll find it on Amazon. And even if we have to get it for you from America, Brazil, Australia, whatever, okay, we are going to do all of that for you. You don't need to deal with the customs. You don't need to deal with the duty, etc., etc. We are going to show you a price on the screen. If you like the price, it's yours. You pay the price, and the product will be there at your doorstep within the specified time. Okay, not only that, if anywhere during this duration you have any change of mind or heart, no questions asked, you can cancel the order and get your money back. In addition to that, if any time during this entire period or even during the post-purchase period, you have any question whatsoever, even at 2 o'clock in the night, you hit that button in there in the customer support that says, call me, and somebody's going to call you. Even if it's at 2 o'clock in the night, somebody's going to call you within 1 minute. Okay, that is what we stand for. 100% customer assurance. Okay, regardless of quality of the product. The quality of the product is bad, no problem, hit the button, we'll come and pick it up, return your money, and throw it back in the face of the guy who manufactured it, right? That's what we stand for, that a customer has a full right to have 200% satisfaction guaranteed, and we can provide it to you regardless of who makes the product. Very different from Big Bazaar, who says, I have all these other different choices for you. Please come. Everything is discounted 5%, 10%, or 20% against your grocery guy, and we'll give you the extra 1.5% loyalty points for which you can stand in line for 1 hour, right? Very different model. Lifetime connect, deeper lifetime connect. Nobody goes to Big Bazaar anymore, at least not the smart ones. Okay, then you have commodity based. Again, coming to the Big Bazaar example, this is more commodity based, which is we will find 100 brands of whatever it is we think you need in your house and put them under one roof and give them to you at 10% discount, while this thing is more community based. The people that, because it's a value based lifetime engagement, that people that aggregate around you, will also, chances are they stand for the same thing. They either consume the same thing that you're supplying, or they stand for the same values that you're projecting, and a community forms around you. Think Apple again. The people initially, when the iPod came out, when you were traveling in a local metro train or something, and those white wires were hanging out, the white wire loop was hanging out of somebody's pocket in the early days. You would look at them and say, man, that's an Apple person. I'm an Apple person, man. We are better. We higher quality or whatever. We are better people or whatever, right? Because we stand for better things, like Steve Jobs, right? So it's a little bit of kind of a community. So you don't need to go out and sell your product to the masses. You will have a small number of customers, but they will be with you for life. and slowly this community becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay, this community becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay, think Tatas. People who work in Tatas swear by the Tatas. People who buy from the Tatas swear by the Tatas. People who are not buying from the Tatas till today, after the COVID, during whatever the help that they provided to people and to the government, people are like, I'm going to buy Tata, right? Why? The community has formed. People believe in the same things that, let's say, Ratan Tata believes in, or projects the same values, right? So that's how the thing works. Now, this thing is more, because commoditized, it's more convenience based. Okay, and demand generation is more problem solving based. Okay, so by default, because it's convenience based, the products that can be sold under this umbrella are generally small products that solve a very well defined problem and save somebody's time and money and all of that, and the ticket size will usually be lower. Okay, demand generation is problem solving based, which is long complex problems that require a change in thinking, change in tools and techniques that you require, and change in the actual products that you use to solve the problem. Okay, so it's not your average garden hose kind of a market. Yeah, it's more like the golf market. Not only do I need to understand how the game is played, the mindset, where do all the people, where do all the smart golfers hang out, the community, what is it that the players are not getting, where are the best golf courses to be found, what is the best golf brunch for a perfect day at golf, and then a filling brunch along with that, little little concepts and marketing gimmicks that you can play in there. But it's more driven around a complex problem. Becoming a good golfer and becoming part of a good golf community is not an easy task. It's not your average garden hose purchase, right? It's something that brings a customer closer to you, brings them into your community, and if they agree with what you stand for, with what your message is, they will be with you for life. No questions asked. Not only that, in addition to seeing you as a supplier, they will see you as a leader. They won't see you as a vendor and a supplier. They'll see you as a leader because you help them solve a problem that's very difficult to solve. Okay. Now, chances are that problem may be easy for you to solve because you have slightly more interest or more experience in that, which is where I'll get to right now in 2 minutes. Okay. And then the traditional model is more mass production based. Mass production. Where do their profits come from? Mass produce. Okay, I can mass produce stuff. It can be cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and then people will hopefully buy my product versus my competition. This other stuff is more learn, do, and teach. Because you have a limited community, okay, and you stand for some values, they stand for the same values, and needs are evolving because the relationship is lifetime. There may be many things that you don't have figured out that they need. You don't have that figured out that they need, right? So what you do is you learn it on the go, and as long as it resonates with the same values that you're projecting that they are attracted for, okay, you can do it and test it out for yourself and then say, hey, I did not know the answer to your problem, but here's what I did. I went out and tested 5 different tools, techniques, products, concepts, mindsets, and I feel this is the one that works for me the best. Again, I've tried it only for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days or half a year or 1 year, and for now it's working for me. So if you want, you can try the same thing, and it just saved them 6 months of hard work or 12 months of 12 months of trial and error, and they respect you for that. They respect you for saving their time. So it's more learn, do, and teach. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to make the cheapest product. Over here you need to make the cheapest product because you're always competing against some other commodity, right? And then, which brings me to the next point, that over here the competition is huge competition. Huge competition. Over here there is literally no competition. No competition. Okay, why is there huge competition? Because you're generating a product that anybody else can copy. Over here, you're projecting a persona nobody can copy because you're unique, my friend. You, my friend, are unique. Okay, no competition. Now, what does that mean for you and me? What does that mean for you and me? What we've done is we've perfected something called the lean startup. Okay, I'll talk to you about it tomorrow, what it means, etc., etc. But we've perfected something called the lean startup, which is based on the demand generation model. Okay. Now, why have we perfected this model? Because it works for us. It works for the average dude and or the average gal. And how does it work? What it does is it takes away your 4 biggest fears. Is there going to be a lot of money involved in developing a product, building a factory, having an office, employees, etc.? The answer is no, because you are mainly focused on problem solving and learn, do, and teach. So you don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to have a big brand. You don't need to have a big office. You don't need to literally have all of these things. All you need to have is a story and a mission and something that you stand for, and then people will resonate with you based on that. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, do you need to have all the know-how, complicated business knowledge, etc.? In fact, in demand generation, you don't need to have any complicated business knowledge, because you're not supposed to be an expert. Not supposed to be an expert. You're supposed to be standing for something, and as long as you do your best, people will connect with you and they will remain with you for life. Okay. The third thing is, what is the risk? As long as you're true to yourself, there is no risk, because remember, you're not fighting on products, you're not fighting on product features, you're not fighting on pricing. You're fighting to be standing for something, having a message that other people connect with, and trying your level best to help other people solve a problem that potentially either you have solved for yourself, or you'll try your darndest best to help other people solve for themselves, right? So what you need to have is a mission, you need to stand for something, and you need to have a message. Okay, so the risk is you need to stand true to that message for forever, and that needs to show up in your actions. That's the risk. Yeah? So if you're not willing to take action, then this is going to be very short-lived, very short-lived. Now you're going to break a lot of people's hearts too, because people will start looking up to you, right, to help solve their problem. Okay, what is the next thing? You have time, business know-how, money, and risk. I think I covered all of them. When I say you will have a small but faithful, loyal community, does that mean you will have a small income? The answer is no. What are the kind of incomes we are looking at? In the Startup Launch Program, we talk about hitting at least a consistent 1 lakh rupees a month within the first 90 days. Hitting a consistent 1 lakh rupees a month within the first 90 days. Now, there are people in the industry who are utilizing the demand generation model to make things like 1 crore rupees a month as well. Okay, but I'm not going to talk about that, because I'm not there, so I can't teach you how to solve that problem. Maybe, at some point you can find some of those people and go learn from them. But over here, what we are doing is we are trimming down all of the requirements that are needed to put ourselves in the market, whether it's a corporate professional or a certified professional like doctor, lawyer, accountant, architect, etc., or a small business owner. We are stripping down everything. Stripping down the need for reputation, stripping down the need for previous, I am so and so, I've spoken on so many TEDx stages, etc., co-founded so many big brands and all. None of that stuff is required. We are stripping it down to the bare bones. What do you stand for? What problem are you going to help people solve? What is your message to the market? And then how do you get people? How do you build the engagement model where people can actually do business with you and pay you to solve their problem? Okay, so we strip it down to the bare bones. Okay, and we keep a high benchmark, which is, if we can generate 1 lakh rupees a month starting next month or the month after that, then after that we can think about scaling it. We can think about different ideas. You can even think about quitting your job and things like that, right? Again, not my business to be telling you what to do, but we can reach you to this level. And there have been many case studies you must have seen over the months, and all of them follow the same model. Now, what am I going to do is later this week, okay, in celebration of crossing 10,000 people, I'm going to give you 5 days of free consultation on live camera. That's you and me in the same room. Okay. And over 5 days, I'm going to help you build this model for yourself for free, for literally zero money down. Okay. Which means I'm not charging anything for my consulting, and you will not need to spend any money for, setting up your business. Now, there'll be some optional expenses, which if you choose, that will help you, but it's not required. Okay. And for 5 days, I will drive this whole thing with you, so that at the end of 5 days, you will have a very clear idea of whether you can do business or you can't do business. You can do business or you can't do business. Because you see, my mission and what I stand for is that this whole funda and this whole game of making money and doing business is overcomplicated by these MBA schools, overcomplicated by corporate speak, overcomplicated by all of the people who control the access, and keep people like you and me away from it. I've broken that code not once, but again and again through the 2001 recession, 2008 recession, and again during the Corona slowdown, except that this time I've taken many people along with me. And we've broken those barriers together, those barriers that I show. So if this interests you, you want to play this game, it's all free, but it's going to take 5 days of your time. We'll have a 30 to 60 minute call every single day live, you and me. Okay. If you want to play this game, then what I want you to do is write in the comments column, I want in the comments column. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out with another pre-qualifier video tomorrow where I'll tell you exactly what we're going to be doing, so you're very clear in your mind what the end result is going to be, what you're supposed to do, etc. And then potentially by Thursday or Friday we go live 5 days every single day, you and me, my friend, you and me. Let's see if you got it in you. Okay, let's see if you got it in you. If this interests you, you want to type in the comments column below saying I want in, because when you type, Facebook is going to show you tomorrow's video and the day after's video. And this thing is going to be by invitation only, by request only. You can self-invite yourself. And if you put in your comments, I received a lot of requests yesterday. All of those people will get the message, etc. But if you want in, you got to type I want in and I'll hook you up. Okay, I'll hook you up. All right. That's all from my side. If you have any questions or comments, that too, just mention right below and I'll be sure to answer them. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.